So when we think about predictive analytics and visualization, you can see that there's a high degree of people who believe that they understand the impact of data will have on their organizations, but then there's this gap between how they're actually going to try and use it and what data they're going to use to produce this kind of impact. And so what we need to do is we need to figure out how we're going to use visualization along with analytics to help uncover some of these hidden assets and close this gap so that we can get closer to using the data to actually produce a better business insight. Now, this is not an attempt to endorse any product, but certainly there have been a number of products that people are using with respect to visualization. This example is one associated with IBM and Watson. And what we're looking at here is a dashboard that allows us to see various aspects, either predictive, diagnostic, descriptive, or prescriptive analytics at work. And we have the ability to take these different types of analytic inputs and create models that help us define what it is that we really care about, what are the key issues and levers that allow us to make better business decisions and create business insight. Why was a purchase made? Who made the purchase? At what price points? Can all be visualized so that they create meaningful insight to the business. And there's one part of the business that is particularly interested in these kinds of visualizations, and they tend to be the chief executive officers. And most specifically, we're talking about the chief marketing officer and the chief information officer. But these two roles are starting to have a very interesting relationship change that we should probably investigate. The CIO and CMO, they're certainly partners in this concept of business transformation. They see things from the same perspective. They see the same thing from two different perspectives, though. They see the same coin from two different sides. They're starting to have converging metrics, that is to say, the CMO is starting to adopt metrics that are typically associated with IT departments, like uptime, availability, and so on. And the CIO is starting to identify with graphics that are typically associated with marketing, like trend analysis, sentiment analysis, user participation and loyalty. And so the CIO and CMO are starting to have an increased collaboration, even to the point where there's some discussion about this idea of a converged role, a new role called the Chief Marketing Technology Officer. This new role would have analytics as its key driver and would have a tech-based marketing development environment where business metrics would rule, and instead of having 999 performance and all of these other technical metrics be the rule, we would adopt a more business analytics or business measure as the rule for this new CMTO role. And the reason for that is because analytics is driving the ability for businesses to take actionable insight. We're looking for businesses to make data-driven decisions. And the reality is that while we talk a lot about big data, and the reason we talk about it is because there is a lot of it, the actionable insight is really derived from small amounts of key impactful data. And so the task is to use the insight value cycle to identify what are the key small pieces of this large data set that are really fueling the performance of my business. What is it that I'm going to use in terms of the data that I've got to make intelligent business decisions?